Starting off with Elon Musk, which is going to be our first topic for today. Elon Musk obviously attempted to buy Twitter at $54.20. And over the weekend, or on Friday, he basically tweeted that he thinks that the platform is filled with bots. In fact, he wants to do an internal survey, an audit, one would call it due diligence, of how many bots, is it more than 5% or less than 5% for every 100 users, exist on Twitter. As a result of this, he's violated his NDA in terms of tweeting publicly about the deal not going through, and is basically saying he's committed to the acquisition, but not if there's only bots on the platform. Justin, let's start off with you. Is this a master tactic and negotiating to get a better price on the deal?
I don't think so. I think the deal price is kind of out there and set, although I'm not really quite sure how the renegotiation would happen. I can't really draw from past examples because Elon Musk is such an original type of person in the world of corporate finance. He's such a flamboyant, richest man in the world. I mean, yeah, I don't know what's going through his head. I think that I would bet there's a higher chance that he's maybe waffling on the deal as a whole, because Twitter had said that they estimated 5% was bots and spam. And if it's 5, if it's 8, if it's 3, does it really matter? Or are you just waffling on the deal and having second thoughts? So, Tom Nash actually has a much bigger Twitter following. He tweets a lot more. So I'll let him have some of the floor here.
So, it's a really funny story. I'm going to do a video about this. But a few years ago, I was taking a cab. I had to get to JFK. We hit a traffic jam and ended up staying stuck in traffic for a couple of hours. So when we got there, you pay a fixed fee to go to JFK. Like there's a specific fee you pay. Amit knows it probably as well. I don't know if you ever left Jersey, but if you did, that would be the case. But maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so
yes,
I ended up giving
New Jersey. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all right.
Okay, yes. Anyway, so he didn't ask it, but I gave him more money because I understood that the terms of the deal have materially changed. And I think that's exactly what's going on with Twitter right now. So look, the valuation of the deal isn't what it used to be. It's been a few rough weeks where Twitter realistically is probably a $20 company right now with this macro and this market, even this little run we had in the last few days before the weekend. So he knows they know it's a $20 company, and he knows that he can put some leverage on them. The problem is that they're a little bit deadlocked because Elon is trapped in this deal. There's a misunderstanding about this breakup fee. The breakup fee of the $1 billion does not allow him to just walk out willingly if he just decides not to want to do it. Certain things has to happen for him to do that. Like an FTC has to get involved. There's something that needs to happen to allow him to walk out. He can't just change his mind. If he does that, they can sue him for the entire amount of whatever damages they have. So he's trying to generate the appearance of potentially fraud so he can get out of the deal at a reasonable price. He knows it's not going to work, but he's trying to basically leverage a renegotiation. Instead of just saying, hey, I want a better price, he wants to show him, hey, I'm actively moving into claiming that your guys are, cheated me about the bots. The problem is that if you look at the filing pretty much says that, hey, we don't fucking know how many bots we have. They say, yeah, we have 5%, but we don't really know and we don't care. So, at your own risk. So there's no case to be made here. I think that he knows there's no case to be made, but he's just saying, hey, I have so much leverage because if I walk out, it's going to take them 15 years to sue me. It's going to cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. They don't have it. They don't have the time. They don't want the PR nightmare. So I just I can get away with this and get a better deal. He's probably trying to get it down to the 40s.
Yep. And he basically has the option. I mean, yeah, the whole breakup fee is interesting. We don't know the full details of it, or at least I haven't looked into it. Tom, I just want to say two things. Elon has, if he backs out of this deal, I think his reputation's at stake. I mean, I grew up with Warren Buffett. The whole reputation takes years and decades to build, but a second to kind of destroy. I think it's going to really affect Elon's ability to go buy something else in the future because this makes him seem like a not serious jokester. And so he better go through with the deal for his reputation's sake, but to your point, for his pocketbook's sake, he shouldn't go through with the deal because he's going to lose so much money. We're just like, what is Twitter value today versus what is the strike price, if you will? Secondly, I just want to do you regret telling folks that maybe this is an easy money $4 a share to be made?
I made a whole video saying that this was a mistake on my channel. I don't know if you saw it, but I essentially said that it was a bad call on my end. I mean, you can win them all, but it is what it is. It wasn't a good call. Because what will happen now, essentially, I don't think there's any chance the deal goes through at the original price. I would say not any chance, but there's very slim chance. More likely than not, this deal gets renegotiated at a lower price. So essentially, there's three alternatives here. The deal gets done at the same price they agreed on, 54.20. The deal gets canceled. The deal gets renegotiated. So if you go back in history, usually when you have this kind of waffling going around, especially when the market has completely changed 180 degrees, they'll renegotiate. Because even though the law is on Twitter's side here, and they can sue him if he walks out, it's not practical. I mean, legal justification and being legally right doesn't mean diddly squat. If you're going up against a guy who's worth 120 billion, he's going to take you to court and it's going to take forever. So I think that like practically as the CEO, the board, we just say let's just settle with him because it still gets us twice what the company's worth in the free market. Now, that's being said, I agree with what you said about the trust. I think the trust can, like, if he walks out of this, and this is just not a negotiation tactic to get a better price, the trust will be definitely a problem.